5 deadly mistakes that make people lose trust in you and how to fix them. Because once trust is gone, so is your influence, right? You know that moment when someone gives you a weird look in a meeting and you suddenly wonder, wait, do they not trust me? Yeah, that look. So trust is the inevitable currency of every relationship, whether it's professional or personal. It's what makes deals close, teams collaborate, and friendships thrive, right? Here's the kicker though. Trust takes forever to build, but can be destroyed in seconds, right? In fact, according to an Edelman Trust Barometer study, 76% of people won't do business with a company or a person that they don't trust. That makes sense, right? Companies and even people, they buy from people that they trust and that they like and they feel will have their back. So 76%, that's a lot of people out there, right? So you have to earn it. And that's why sometimes even in a sales situation, it takes so long to start getting some traction because you need to build up that trust. So let's talk about 5 common but very fixable trust killers that even the best of us might be making and what to do instead. Number 1 is overpromising and under-delivering. This happens a lot, right? Especially probably in our jobs, because if we're working for someone, we're basically told what to say and what to do. And sometimes we know coming out of the gate that the delivery is not going to be good, right? So saying, I'll get you that by tomorrow, like say you owe something by tomorrow when you definitely won't, that erodes trust. We get it. You want to impress whoever you're in front of, or you're just a little bit nervous, right? So you're trying to promise yourself getting out of that conversation. But when you repeatedly miss deadlines or under-deliver, people stop taking your word seriously. And a statistic here is a PwC study found that 55% of consumers stop trusting brands maybe just after one bad experience. I've been there. Sometimes when you get burned and you get burned pretty good, it's over, right? Your credibility works the same way. So what's the fix here? Under-promise and over-deliver always. Build in some buffer time and wow them when you're early or you exceed expectations. A second tip is avoiding tough conversations. So we all hate tough conversations, right? Our heart's pounding. We don't know how the other person is going to respond. But letting conflict simmer or ghosting instead of addressing an issue head on makes you look not trustworthy. So you might think that you're keeping the peace, but what you're really doing is eroding trust behind the scenes. People respect honesty and transparency, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't have the best news to tell them. They will respect you for having the guts and the grind to come to them and let them know. So use radical candor. Be kind and direct. Say things like, this is a bit tough to bring up, but it's important for me that we have open communication. And a fun fact is Google's Project Aristotle found that psychology or that psychological safety, the ability to speak up without fear, is the number 1 factor in high-performing teams. So when teams don't feel valued or trusted, or that they can express themselves without feeling like maybe their job is on the line or they're being looked at, in a bad way, they oftentimes hold back and don't share. And that can cause bigger problems down the road, right? Number 3 is inconsistency between words and actions. So saying one thing and maybe doing another. The classic case of do as I say, not as I do. So whether it's shifting values, changing moods, or unpredictable behavior, inconsistency triggers some red flags. So what's the fix here? You want to align your behavior with your values. Be the same person on Monday at the boardroom as you are on Saturday at brunch, right? You just want to be you, whoever you feel that you are, but you want to have the same values, same ethics. But when you flip-flop around, people don't really know who you are and therefore don't trust you, right? So when you slip up, because we all do, own it. Transparency increases credibility by far. Tip number 4 is gossiping or talking behind people's backs. So sharing the just between us conversations with that hot gossip or venting frustrations to the wrong audience can backfire in more ways than one. So trust evaporates the second that someone hears you talk negatively about them, or sometimes even about others. Because guess what? They know and they assume that you're doing the same to them. And it's true, right? Most of the people that are gossipists, you know, they're talking about you to other people and you could just feel it and you know it, right? So what's the fix here? You just want to zip it. Vent up to maybe a mentor, somebody that you do trust. Or sometimes I just talk to myself and go for a walk and calm myself down, because most of the things that people do, they don't even know they're doing it. They don't mean it towards you. There could be something going on in their life that's affecting their attitude. But when you get with some colleagues, things can go sideways, right? Or better yet, deal with the issue directly with the person you're having a problem with. And research from Harvard Business Review, it shows that gossip reduces perceived trustworthiness by up to 45%, especially in leadership roles. So if you're a gossiper around and people know you're always the one who's in the know, just be careful, because leadership is watching and maybe you're not getting that raise or promotion because of it. So keep the zip to the lip, stay with people that you trust if you need to vent, or start a journal, talk to yourself, whatever you have to do to get it out, but avoid being the gossip. Number 5 is dodging accountability. So blaming others, making excuses, or avoiding the dreaded, I messed up. You need to do that. If you're responsible, then you need to own it. I've been in so many situations as a leader and as an individual contributor where people started, just pointing fingers at me that I didn't give them enough information or I was responsible. And okay, you own it. Sometimes you are, but sometimes you're not. And people are just looking to place the blame and let someone carry the burden. So this one is a real trust killer and a reputation buster. Actually, there's someone that I work with, and no matter what I do for this person to help them, to give them clarity as much as I can, to meet with them, to make sure things are clear, they don't deliver. And then when the heat is on them for maybe someone at a higher level than me, they blame me for it. So I know how that feels. So I feel like I don't trust them. And I feel like if someone was to come to me and ask me about them, if I felt like they should be promoted or they would be a person for a role, I'm probably not likely to recommend them. So think about that as well, even with colleagues or people that are close to you. So how do you fix this? Own your mistakes, apologize sincerely, and outline what you'll do differently next time. So according to University of Michigan study, people who acknowledge their mistakes and make amends, they're twice as likely to rebuild trust compared to those who deflect or stay silent. So I know I've said a lot in this video, but let's take a quick recap. Here are your trust-saving hacks. Say less, deliver more. You want to speak up even when it's hard. You want to walk your talk. You want to keep it classy and quiet, and own your oopsies. When things happen, we're all human, but own it. Own it. We're all not perfect. And every time you fail, every time you mess up, we always learn, right? So don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a step in the right direction. So some final thoughts here is that trust isn't built in a day, but it can be lost in a single moment of misjudgment. And the good news here is when you catch these mistakes and you course correct quickly, you not only regain the trust or save it, you become more trusted because of your humility and your growth. So the next time that you're in a high stakes moment, just remember this. Trust is built one decision at a time. So make the next one count. If this sparked an aha moment or an uh-oh moment, let me know in the comments and tell me which trust trap you've seen or fallen into the most. So until next time, keep showing up with integrity and intention, and we will see you on the next video.